Thank you for joining with me. We are picking up the reading in Chapter 4 of Journey Through A Course in Miracles by Ken Wapnick, Ph.D. This is The Illusions of the Ego, and this section is The Ego's Fear of the Atonement Principle. I'm reading the text. I'll say text or Ken, in case you're not reading with me, but you are listening. Spirit, in its knowledge, is unaware of the ego. It does not attack it. It merely cannot conceive of it at all. Ken. This is an horrendous statement for the ego, so much so that most students of the Course forget it is even here. God's Spirit knows nothing about us. This fact terrifies the ego, because if we choose Spirit, which is what choosing the Holy Spirit accomplishes, the ego's existence is undone. Now I'm going to repeat that reading. Spirit in its knowledge is unaware of the ego. It does not attack it. It merely cannot conceive of it at all. Text. While the ego is equally unaware of Spirit, it does perceive itself as being rejected by something greater than itself. Ken. As the ego is not aware of Spirit, the threat to it is not God or the Holy Spirit, but the mind's decision maker, something greater than itself. It alone contains the power that gave the ego its existence, and if that power is withdrawn, the ego's existence disappears back into the nothingness from which it came. Text. It is surely apparent by now why the ego regards Spirit as its enemy. The ego arose from the separation, and its continued existence depends on your continuing belief in the separation. Ken. Enemy is put in quotes because the ego thinks Spirit is its enemy. It cannot be said too often that the ego does not owe its existence to anything other than the mind's belief in it, the power that is the real source of the ego's fear. Text. The ego must offer you some sort of reward for maintaining this belief. All it can offer is a sense of temporary existence, which begins with its own beginning and ends with its own ending, birth and death. Ken. The ego says that if we continue to believe in it, it will give us existence, and our individuality will be forever safe. In addition, the ego assures us of an afterlife. If you do what I ask of you, you will go to heaven. If not, you will surely go to hell and be punished and destroyed. Text. It tells you this life is your existence because of its own. Ken. The ego tells us this because separation defines its existence, and it has convinced us that we are the ego. Text. Again, this sense of temporary existence, Spirit offers you the knowledge of permanence and unshakable being. I'm going to repeat that. Against, I think I said again, no wonder it didn't make sense. Against this sense of temporary existence, Spirit offers you the knowledge of permanence and unshakable being. Ken. The problem is that we are not interested in unshakable and permanent being, because as individuals we do not exist in the state of abstraction. The ego's home is the state of specificity, separation and specialness, and the basis for its fear is the mind coming to its senses and choosing to return to its identity as Spirit. Jesus continues, text. No one who has experienced the revelation of this can ever fully believe in the ego again. How can its meager offering to you prevail against the glorious gift of God? And this is Ken. To ensure that we never make this comparison, the ego blots awareness of God from our memory, first by covering it with its wrong-minded thought system of sin, guilt, and fear, and then by the world, at which point we become mindless. Without recognizing we have a mind, there is no way we can approach it, and no way we can compare the glorious gift of God with the meager gifts of the ego. If all we know is fear and ways to eliminate it, and we do not know real love, meaningful choice is impossible. I'm going to go ahead and stop there today, and we will pick up the reading here tomorrow. I thank you so much for joining with me. Have a most beautiful day or evening, and I will see you then. I love you. Thank you.